are many agencies meant to protect the security of their nation's citizens. But when there's a crime in this land, only one group can set the story straight.
The Happily Ever After Agency is a secret organization dedicated to giving every story a happy ending.
But when a wicked witch
Oh, please, we did not mean to trespass into your delicious cookie house.
abducts two innocent children,
Who names their kids Hansel and Gretel anyway?
they'll have to get the old team back together.
Hey everyone, it's Jonathan and welcome to our second episode on Hoodwinked, this time talking about the much maligned, with good reason, sequel to Hoodwinked, Hoodwinked 2, Hood vs. Evil. Joining me once more for this episode are Sarah and Mark. Originally it was just going to be me and Mark. Sarah is a big fan of the first movie, the original Hoodwinked, but had no intention of subjecting herself to the second one, even for a podcast. However, after I started researching these movies for the show, and discovering the wild backstory behind them, I really wanted to talk about everything with both of them, and I felt like our discussion wouldn't be complete for Sarah unless she stayed and got the whole story. So even though we were recording both of these episodes one right after the other, and it was late at night, and she had to get up for work in the morning, she agreed to stay and see this through to the end, despite having never watched the episode. And honestly, I think it was for the better for her. Hoodwinked 2 is one of those movies that is so much more fun to talk about than it is to watch. As much as I love the first Hoodwinked movie, this is definitely one of those sequels that just fails in every way to capture the spirit of the first one. And like the first one, there is a reason that it is the way it is. And we will get into everything.
Get ready
Rescue Team Alpha, moving!
for the sequel.
We're to up and pump and blow your house up!
That's not good.
That's 3-dequel.
Oh, muffin.
Bye-bye.
Hoodwinked 2, Hood vs. Evil.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a groundbreaking podcast. We have a podcaster here who has not watched the movie.
We've convinced Sarah to stay, but only because I feel like we just sort of should see her reaction.
I feel like this
about
going
this movie.
quickly is a lie.
This movie is not good. It is, I don't even feel like...
It's not good. It's Hood. Hood versus Evil.
At the very beginning, when it first started, I was like, this is not as bad as people say. And then it went downhill. Like, I remember, I watched this when it came out, because I remember being so excited for it. Like, I loved the first movie, and I was waiting for the second one.
I'm glad I didn't realize until adulthood that there was a second one.
I remember when it came out. I don't remember where I was when I watched it. I remember watching it, and then I remember absolutely nothing about the movie. It was deleted from my brain.
Oh, you protected yourself.
I remember Jack and Jill, but that was pretty much all from the plot.
It wasn't Jack and Jill. It was Hansel and Gretel. So you
Sorry,
don't
not Jack
remember
and Jill, Hansel
them.
and Gretel. Oh. You got me there.
It's kind of interesting that they're included in this because, like, this mini-series that I'm doing is on versions of Little Red Riding Hood, Goldilocks, and Hansel and Gretel. So now we get two for the price of one in this episode. But really, this is Hansel and Gretel in name only because they're barely Hansel and Gretel. Like, they subvert the trope by having them be the actual evil ones. And the witch is just basically their captive, even though she's not exactly nice until the very end when she turns a corner. But it was a weird movie. This is such a weird movie. Like, I get that they're trying to subvert the tropes like the first one, and there's ideas in this movie that could be good. I was bored through most of the movie, and I feel like that's worse than this being an actively bad movie. It's just boring.
I mean, if you're new to this podcast, you have to realize that Jonathan is willing to investigate almost all avenues of aversion, even if they're painful. So this isn't out of any lack of dedication.
Going back to what I said in the other episode about this being a sleeper hit, and one of the issues with the sleeper hit is that studios will demand a sequel. Like, a sequel's going to be made eventually. So we knew a Hoodwinked 2 is going to come. Same thing with Romeo and Juliet. We got a Sherlock Gnomes out of that as well. And in both cases, the second movie definitely does not hold up to the first movie.
Okay, one of the things that like immediately put me off of watching this movie is you don't have Anne Hathaway as Little Red anymore, do you?
You don't.
No,
No. Yeah.
no.
So yeah, I was that cut it off from my brain. Like, I don't know about watching that. If they
You do have
changed
Patrick
it like that.
Warburton, though. He still remains. You still have Andy Dick as Boingo in his brief moments.
Cameo, basically.
Cameos, yeah. You have
Was he in
Twitchy,
jail?
he's still
Yes.
there. David Ogden Stiers is still there. And Glenn Close is still the grandma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's still there. But yeah, Anne Hathaway is changed, and Jim Belushi's changed to Martin Short, who's pretty much also a
What?
cameo as well. But then you get new characters with Joan Cusack and Bill Hader and Amy Poehler.
I liked them all. Like, I feel like in the right hands, they could have been great characters. But the script was just so boring.
The biggest issue to me starts at the beginning where Red Riding Hood is training under this like secret society called Sisters of the Hood, which apparently her grandma was from. Like, not once did we mention that in the first movie that her grandma used to work for a secret society. Yes, in the first movie we mentioned she has secrets, like she's a extreme sports lover and all that, but no, she's actually descended from a line of like mystical ladies who keep recipes and Red is next in the bloodline. It's like, where the heck did this bloodline come from? He didn't mention this at all
Mystical,
in the
you
first
say,
movie.
huh? So not like just spies or something. They're actually like, do they have
Well,
a coven
They're
or
like
something?
monks / spies.
Yeah, mice.
It's bizarre and boring.
Which that actually should be fun.
It should be.
The way you just described that should be fun.
It should be. It is not. There are so many things in this movie. It was like, this is a great idea. Why is this so boring?
Huh.
The whole plot, we talked in the other episode, like, what do you think the plot is about? Like, even just what we've mentioned, what do you think the plot of this movie is? Because you can guess a million different things. You will never guess what this plot is.
So you want me to guess?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
very interesting.
Granny is kidnapped by evil monks of the vegetarian coven, and Little Red has to take her spicy sisters with her to
Spicy
go
system.
rescue Granny from this opposing religious group off of the Mystic Mountain, where the goat actually turns out to be an evil overlord, and Boingo is actually the high priest of the vegetarian coven.
I already love your idea so much better than what we got.
Yeah, this would have been a better movie.
And Patrick Warburton actually saves everybody ultimately by running newspaper articles that expose the whole story and force leaders to get everybody out of the dungeon.
The only thing that you got right was that Granny was kidnapped. But
Oh, okay.
she was kidnapped by Hansel and Gretel, who also kidnapped the witch. They pretended that the witch was going to eat Hansel and Gretel to lure Granny in to save the children so that they could kidnap her, because they want the secret truffle recipe that Granny's mystical monk spy sisters have been guarding for like hundreds of years.
Can I
And
have the
this
truffle
mystical
recipe
truffle
too?
recipe gives them the power to grow into kaiju children and stop the city, and they have to battle kaiju Hansel and Gretel.
How was this recipe discovered?
I don't know. None of it makes sense.
And the weird thing, so they steal the recipe, right? But
So this is
it's
how these
missing-
women are so powerful, because they can turn into kaijus?
I guess so. I don't know.
What the hecky darn is going on around here?
So one thing, they steal the recipe, but the witch kidnaps Granny because one thing is missing: the secret ingredient, which only Granny knows, or a true member of the sisterhood knows. And
Is
this
it
witch has been
love?
trying.
No, it's
sadly not.
macadamia nuts.
It's macadamia nuts. And this witch
Same
has been
diff.
trying for years and years and years and can't come up with it. I feel she would have hit on macadamia nuts eventually at this point.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, like
what
Jonathan
were they
was saying,
smoking when they wrote this?
Hansel and Gretel are kind of like they're meant to be twist villains because you think it's the other witch who was voiced by Joan Cusack, but then no, it's actually Hansel and Gretel, the ones in charge.
Okay.
And Joan Cusack, Bill Hader, and Amy Poehler are great as these characters, but they're written so dumbly that I don't care about them, and I don't want to see them anymore.
That's sad.
I didn't realize until after that Bill Hader and Amy Poehler were in Inside Out.
Yeah, though the first time I watched this, I don't think I knew who they were at that point. I don't remember the timeline between when when was Parks and Rec?
Inside Out came
No,
out.
Parks and Rec was after this too, so I didn't know who Bill Hader and Amy Poehler were, because I didn't watch Saturday Night Live. Joan Cusack, I don't know if I would have recognized her or not. Like, she has a very recognizable
Toy Story
voice.
2, probably.
That would be the only thing I probably would have seen, because she played Jessie in the Toy Story movies. But, like, they're great voices. They are just given a really dumb script. And so many things in this movie could have been fun, but the way it's written, it's just boring and predictable.
That's a pity.
I guess we should get into some of the backstory on how this came to be. The main reason that it came to be was that the first one was such a success, a sequel was immediately greenlit. Basically right after the first movie was released, January 2006, it greenlit. So it was immediate. And the brothers returned, and the Tony Leach, their friend, the three of them wrote the script, but they basically turned it over to someone else because they didn't want to get pigeonholed into one category of filmmaker. They didn't want to just do this for the rest of their life. So they would write the script and give it to someone else to do. And he also said he didn't elaborate, but apparently he had a negative experience working with some of the film's key players the first time around and felt that they had been poorly treated. I kind of wonder if he's talking about the Weinsteins. I would not be surprised if it's the Weinsteins, because I feel like a problem would have been mentioned at some point before because they worked on the film for so long without them. I don't know. He does not elaborate. I'm just speculating. But then he also, as I mentioned in the first episode, he himself does not love the fractured fairy tale genre. He doesn't like Shrek. He thinks that doing subversions of fairy tales usually is too cynical. I get what he's saying. Like, in all the interviews, I understand his concerns. Like, children need real fairy tales before being exposed to parodies of fairy tales. But also, I'm like, why did you do this genre if you dislike it so much? I think maybe he just wanted to make a movie and that was the way to make a movie. I don't know. But the way he was explaining it in one interview, how much he disliked it and what he was trying to do with this one and why this one was different, I was like, this is like I can fix him levels of delusion. Like, he sees this trope of the fractured fairy tales and he's like, this is bad, but I can fix it. Which, to be fair, Hoodwinked was amazing. So...
Was Exhibit in this one?
No. There was Anthony Anderson.
Let's see, I've got a list of everyone who was in it. There's, again, a long list of people, including a lot of celebrities who were not in the first one.
Was the goat in it?
Yes.
Yes.
So was Benji in it or not? Or they get somebody else?
Yes, he was.
I think it's
Okay.
Benji, yeah.
He almost had a bigger role in this one because he kept coming back so many times in the movie, but in a weird way that was dumb. He just kept showing up and then something horrible would happen to him. Like, he got stomped by giant Hansel and Gretel. A bus exploded on him. He fell down a manhole.
That ain't right because he's lucky.
I mean, he survived everything without a scratch.
Okay.
But then he would go off and
he'd
he'd be saying about how terrible this all was, and then something else bad would happen to him. But nothing ever fully bad happened to him. I think the worst thing was something he did to himself. He broke his banjo, and then he didn't have a banjo after that.
Oh, well, that's fixable.
But as far as bodily injury, you would think being involved in a massive fireball explosion would kill someone, but he was fine, so...
I mean, it's a cartoon, so...
But then you also had Cheech and Chong
Oh, yeah.
as
I forgot they were in this.
not police. What were they? They were pigs from some organization. They weren't police. They were bad. I don't know.
They're bad pigs. Hit pigs. if you
Something
will.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne Newton.
I did not like his character. He was annoying. The voice was annoying. The character made no sense. I didn't like him.
Pretty much voiced the Golden Harp.
Yeah, and then the giant was voiced by Brad Garrett. A random cameo by a celebrity was Heidi Klum as Heidi, one of Kirk's yodeling group / mercenaries.
Yeah.
That was the most random thing. The Woodsman now has a band of mercenaries who swoop in to save the day, but they also yodel, which again feels like it should be a hilarious thing, and it's just not. It's just so forced and dumb. I feel like they should have been yodeling the entire time they were beating up the bad guys. That would have been better.
That'd been funny.
So how did they defeat Hansel and Gretel?
They tricked them into eating more truffles, and then they blew up, and they were basically beach balls with tiny hands, legs, and heads. And then they... that was one thing that made me laugh, was I think it was Gretel being carried away by a helicopter. One of my 3 laughs in the entire movie was the helicopter lifting off with her trailing behind.
How did they become like this? What is the backstory?
I don't know. There was no explanation for most things. They also had a giant pet tarantula that was evil until it wasn't. That also made no sense.
Okay, so somebody was just spitballing in the studio, and it became a thing.
Apparently. Yeah.
That's how we got Hoodwinked Too.
I don't know. There's so many... I don't know who to blame for this.
There's your lead in.
Hollywood.
There's your lead into your little preview of the episode. I don't know who to blame for this.
That is also a good clickbait title.
Yeah, there we go.
Look at us. We're winning the YouTube.
I mean, that would make me want to click on it more.
Maybe I should experiment with clickbait. That also sounds like a good YouTube title. Maybe I should experiment with clickbait.
Yeah.
We're going to lose Jonathan.
Anyways, I don't know who to blame for this, but going off the information that I have about who made the movie, the person that I come back to is the director, Mike Disa, this is who they turned the script over to. I don't know that he was much of a director before this. He was an animator. And he's worked on a lot of big recognizable things. He worked for Disney through the Renaissance into the 2000s. His first credit was for Tasmania, which was a cartoon series I loved as a kid. Although his most recent animated credit, a movie that he animated on, was Space Jam: A New Legacy. So can't win them all, I guess.
I take it that one was bad.
I did not like it.
Okay.
It had the same problem as this movie, which is why? So many things in this seem like a good idea, and then they are just boring.
That's sad.
I didn't mind Space Jam 2 too much, but I also didn't grow up with the first one. I didn't see it until way later in my life, so I think that also played a part.
I loved Space Jam as a kid, but I also didn't like it as much as the Brendan Fraser one. Space Jam was fine.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot, but Back in Action was my favorite.
That was a good one, too.
But Mike Disa, the reason that I feel like he maybe should be blamed, because even though when he signed on to the project, he said he had a real passion for the film and a devotion to maintaining the hoodwinked world, and he wanted to do the sequel justice. And the brothers thought that he really got what they were trying to do. But then later in an interview, he said that he had never even seen Hoodwinked before he was approached to direct the sequel.
What?
His main idea was that he liked the way the female characters were treated, which kind of explains why he built this whole monk city with all the grannies. It's he likes the idea of the female character empowerment, and so he was like, let's do that times a million, but then didn't know what to do with it, so then it was just boring.
I hope he watched the first movie before he made.
I think he did, but he just had never seen it before they asked him to do the sequel. But the way they said that he has a real passion for the film and a devotion to maintaining the hoodwinked world, it's like, but does he though?
Thank you for giving us more hyperbolic language that may or may not mean anything.
Yeah, really. But then, of course, you have the problem with the recasts. Like, I kind of get why Anne Hathaway was recast, because I feel like this was the last movie that she did where she was not quite a megastar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, after this, she kind of really blew up and started getting a lot more roles.
Like Gretel.
Good one.
But then also we had Jim Belushi getting replaced.
That one I don't know why.
One of the Edwards brothers explained that he was never really comfortable with doing the accent for the woodsman. He said he's not an accent guy, so he had a hard time with the character. Apparently he said that he wanted to help them out and really loved the first film, but he didn't want to keep doing that accent. So it's understandable that they would replace him. But the other big names stuck around.
I don't think Patrick Warburton ever says no to a voice role.
Not really. But he also did not have nice things to say about this movie afterwards. Like, he didn't, bash it, but he didn't talk about it favorably.
I don't blame him.
One of the weirdest things, Corey Edwards voiced Twitchy in both movies, but one of the weirdest things about this movie was because they were not making it, the people who were working on it apparently didn't really know what to do with Twitchy, because in the first movie, they basically pitched his voice up and sped up the recording by 50%. So he's really hyper. And I had made a bunch of notes before rewatching the movie. So I had gotten to this point where they were talking about they didn't know what to do with the voice. And when the movie first started, I was like, it still sounds the same. But the further you go into the movie, the slower his voice seems to get.
Yeah.
Until it basically just seems like they pitched him up a little bit and he's talking normally.
Yeah, his voice was definitely off.
Yeah.
So you lose the character, basically.
Yeah. And it was still Corey Edwards doing it. But, he was doing it the way he'd always done. He was just relying on somebody else to make it the voice that we know. Because it's his voice, but pitched and sped up.
And so they just... Yeah.
So they basically just pitched it up a little bit and didn't bother speeding it up. And it did not feel like the same character at all.
I get it. Maybe if it was a scene where he was supposed to be super, super tired.
It really wasn't. He was supposed to be his normal self. He just didn't talk like Twitchy.
They ruined Twitchy.
As far as the way the movie looks, I feel like it has the opposite issue that the first one did, because the first one didn't look that great, but the script was really good. And this one, it looks a lot better, but the script is terrible. Because they didn't have the same problem with a small budget that they had to move to the Philippines to do. So this one was done by a studio in Toronto. So there's a studio that normally does animation. And it looks fine, but the script is just off.
I guess a question I have is, would you be or open if they were to make a Hoodwinked 3?
We'll get there. I have notes.
He has notes.
Because that is a very distinct possibility due to something that just recently happened.
I want to hear these notes.
Oh, boy.
First, we have to get through the lawsuit.
Let's get to the lawsuit first.
Which I'm beginning to wonder if they deserved for whatever.
I don't know. Because the lawsuit, it was by Can Bar Entertainment suing the Weinstein Company. Because the movie was supposed to come out January 15th, 2010. But in December 2009, the Weinsteins announced that they were pushing the release date back to February at the earliest. And they had a bunch of excuses, including that they needed to make some tweaks to the film's animation and that they were in the final stages of a marketing deal with a fast food chain. But I kind of think that the Weinsteins are lying because Burger King released toys for the film in January 2010. So that doesn't sound like they were in the final stages of a marketing deal, and that's why they needed to delay the movie. It sounds like they already had a marketing deal, and they were breaking their deal by not releasing the movie.
Uh-oh.
So Can Bar Entertainment sued them for delaying the film's release, for not making contributions to the monthly production accounts after February 2009. So basically, the Weinsteins just stopped paying them, for not consulting them about the release strategy. And then they said that the Weinstein Company was not even responding to things about the movie. Like, they would send them notes about making the movie, and they just wouldn't respond.
Oh, boy.
So the movie ended up getting delayed a full year.
Oh, really?
For no reason was cited. Like, I searched around, I couldn't find an actual reason. It was just excuses that they had been given. So I don't think we may never know why it was released, because the Weinsteins are in prison and out of business. So
Are both of them in prison? Because it looked like the one wasn't. Maybe
I don't know
was
about
lying.
his brother. I guess I don't think he's in prison, but the Weinstein Company does not exist anymore.
Sure.
They went bankrupt and all the assets were sold off. But the movie eventually came out in April 2011, a full year and 3 months after Burger King put out their toys.
Awkward. Very awkward.
That is so weird. I've heard of that happening before, but it's just so weird. Like, you would think that this would have been coordinated better.
It's awkward for both parties.
Yeah, really.
At least they had the first one to have some reference point.
Mm-hmm. But then, of course, as we know, it was a box office bomb. It was not good. No one thought it was good. It had terrible reviews. It apparently grossed only $4.1 million across 2,505 theaters.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Burger King Hoodwinked Too toys, and there's only one of them that seems like it would have to be absolutely specific to the movie. It's Gretel with the house. The other ones are, even if it's not doing things that are recognizable from the first movie, the characters are recognizable from the first movie. So before they had it ruined with the bad second movie, they could have this reminder of the movie that they'd already watched.
That is
hopefully
true. They're not extremely specific. Like, the wolf is riding the motorcycle he rode in the second movie, and the woodsman is dressed in his second movie outfit.
But they're
recognizable as the characters they are supposed to be.
And frankly, a wolf on a motorcycle is kind of fun either way.
Yeah.
So hopefully the kids enjoyed it.
I have a feeling that the kids who got them probably didn't care that much. I don't think I would have cared that much at a very young age. It's just cool to get a toy with your meal.
It is cool. But yeah, they had Granny, Red, Wolf, the apparently now uncaffeinated squirrel, Twitchy, and the woodsman, along with Gretel and a little gingerbread house.
It's weird that they only had Gretel and not Hansel.
I don't know.
But yeah, the movie bombed, and Corey Edwards later said that he was very disappointed with the second film. He said it would not hold much appeal for anyone older than 10, and that it was deflating to give this thing away and watch others run with it in ways that I would not. And he also expressed disappointments with major edits that had been made to the original script. So the movie we got is not what he wrote. I don't know what he wrote, but I have a feeling it would have been better than what we got.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Warburton apparently agrees with him, because he said that the film has less of a soul than the first one. And he attributed this issue to the fact that the Edwards brothers and Tony Leach were not involved anymore. And he says, I feel like the original guys got screwed, but he qualified that with saying that he didn't actually know the film's behind-the-scenes struggles. He didn't know what actually went on, so he can't say for sure. He feels like something bad happened to them, which maybe is partially true. Again, we don't know why they didn't really want to be involved, other than the vague comments that they have said. So, I don't know. I'm not going to say, well, you shouldn't have left, because we don't know their reasons, but I feel like if they had been more involved, we would have gotten a much better film.
This just seems sad that this wasn't a nice movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, either just leave it alone or make something special, and it's too bad. But what is this about a third one?
So, a few months ago, in October 2025, Hoodwinked and Hoodwinked 2 have not been available other than like the old DVD releases anywhere for years. Like they had their initial release. I'm not sure they were ever re-released on DVD. I don't remember even if Hoodwinked got a Blu-ray. And they've never been available on streaming. But last year, a company I've never heard of called Content Partners LLC.
What a name.
It's so generic. It's like, I hope they're better than they sound. But anyways, they acquired ownership of Hoodwinked and Hoodwinked 2 because Can Bar Entertainment still held the rights to them. So maybe they waited until Can Bar himself died. I don't know. But they now own the rights to Hoodwinked and Hoodwinked 2. And the way that they bought the rights gave them license to both release it and stream it. So the films, both of them are now streaming on Tubi. But these rights also give them the ability to develop sequels, prequels, and other related projects within the franchise.
Interesting.
And very recently, Corey Edwards was interviewed about this, and he wants to make more. He says people have been clamoring for a Hoodwinked 3 for years.
Have they?
I don't know. I feel like after Hoodwinked 2, they were not. But
Is he passionate about it?
he says he is very interested and open to doing more, and he says Content Partners knows where they can find him. He says, I love these characters, and I would love for them to have a future.
I like that wording better. It sounds less like he's trying to hoodwink us.
Oh, I see what you did there.
The other one is like, oh, I'm just passionate about it. And no, you weren't. I mean, you were passionate about something, I guess. But as far as being dedicated to the spirit of the movies and making something really cool, it didn't seem like it.
Yeah.
So if you love the characters and you're very interested, that sounds like a reasonable description.
Yeah. And I don't know how much actual production Content Partners has done, because I looked them up and they have acquired some recognizable films, but acquiring something is different than making something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to a Hoodwinked 3, especially if they got the Edwards brothers back. But if they try and do something on their own, I don't want it. If they just decide to turn this into a franchise and they don't invite the Edwards brothers back, then it's not worth it.
Do the Edwards brothers want it, though?
Corey Edwards says that
Corey
he wants
wants
to.
it, yeah.
Was I just not listening? Sorry.
Yeah, that's what he said. He is very open to this, and he wants to see more with them. He says that...
Oh, am I being terrible? Is that the person who was saying he's very interested?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Internet. Just edit me out. Yeah, no. Okay.
I'd be down
I'm
for
okay.
Hoodwinked
I'm okay
3
with
also.
that. I'm
If
okay.
the
I'm
Edwards
okay.
are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they get the original minds behind all these characters back on board, I'd be totally down for a Hoodwinked 3.
And Patrick Warburton better be the wolf.
Yes.
Oh, you can. I mean, it would have to be his.
It'd be sad though because David Ogden Stiers is dead now.
If you're gonna change the wolf, then have it be his son or something.
I was just going to say, the only other person that could do it is his sons, because I've seen videos of him with his sons.
Oh
and
my
they
word! I
sound
wasn't
like
even thinking of
clones.
that. No, I was just thinking like if we had a different voice actor, have it be the character be the wolf's son or something. But no, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my word! Get like a whole family of detectives on there and get his fam. Oh,
Actually, yeah, that could be a way to do this.
that would be so cute.
Okay, well, we hated Hoodwinked 2, but we're on board for a Hoodwinked 3.
You know we like the movie when. As long as it's done right.
Yes, that's the key. It's got to be done right.
It's not like we aren't open to sequels.
Yeah.
We want to have fun.
I love some sequels.
Yeah. Sequels are
make
not
sequels.
inherently bad. They just need to be done with reverence to the first one.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm not holding my breath, but if they manage to do something good in the future, I'll be there for it.
You can watch it first and let me know and be like, it's great. I'm bringing it over.
Okay. Okay, well, I think we have said all there is to say about Hoodwinked and Hoodwinked 2, Hood versus Evil.
It was more evil than Hood.
Yes. Well, until the next episode, do you guys want to let people know where they can find you if they would like more from you, Mark?
Yeah, you can check out my blogs at The Animation Accommodation at theanimationaccommodation.com and my live action Disney project at myliveactiondisneyproject.com.
And Sarah?
You can find my art on Redbubble under Turnip Wilson if you like whimsical watercolors.
Okay. Well, we'll see you in the future for hopefully something better than Hoodwinked 2.
Hoodwinked
3.
Here we come.
I mean, if they ever make one, we'll be back to talk about it.
Woot woot.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to Every Version Ever. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and follow my co-hosts as well. All of our links will be in the description below. If you'd like more podcasts like this one, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well as most podcast platforms. If you'd like to support this show, check out Johncast Media on Patreon for everything here, plus bonus and extended episodes you won't find anywhere else. We'll be back soon with another brand new episode, so thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.